race number 7, and we've got the Rock placed 2 from 4 over the 1650 on the all-weather. First time at the 1200 for him. Lightning Bolt wears a tongue tie again. Humble Star makes his all-weather debut. Man Star's a 4-time course and distance winner. Gummy Gummy off a second behind Brave Star comes to the surface for the first time. Youthful Deal top 3 finish in 3 starts over the course and distance. California Veins up in trip. Red Desert, he's a 3-time course and distance winner but hasn't won since April of 2021. And High Rise Soldier struggled both times on this surface. He's eligible for Class 4. Might be waiting for a Wednesday night at Happy Valley for him. What about the speed here, Tom? Expected to be good, which is normally the case on plenty of these all-weather races.
It certainly is, Mark. And California Veins, he was up on the pace when he was down the straight last time out, so he should be handy. Gummy Gummy was up on the pace, and his most recent race, and he'd won a trial on the all-weather before his last start as well, so he was better last time out when placed second. High Rise Soldier shouldn't be far away. The trouble is, Paul, for Youthful Deal, barrier 11, even though he does seem to handle the surface, it's a tricky draw out there.
Yeah, he might have to sit 3 wide, I think. Youthful Deal, if he wants to sit on the pace, which he normally does. Manstar's drawn the inside, so I think he'll be next sort of 3 back. Humble Star's been getting back in his runs. Lightning Bolt always needs luck in his runs. He's a horse that does find trouble sometimes, but he generally goes back. But he should get the pace to suit.
All right, so that's the boys and the speed map for race number 7. Youthful Deal, an interesting runner. Zach Purton rides and he's trained by Frankie Law.
Frankie Law, Youthful Deal is a horse who's really found a bit of a home on the all-weather. He's back on the dirt Wednesday night. He's racing on both surfaces, has been really well lately.
Yes, last time a little bit disappointed on the turf, but so anyway, I just put him on the dirt again. He win once on the dirt, so only a little bit problem with the draw 11.
Is that perhaps somewhere that, you know, horses don't mind being out wide on the all-weather? I mean, we've seen a bit of rain recently as well. I'm not sure how the track's going to ride on Wednesday night, but I guess perhaps being wide's not the worst place to be.
Only for the trainers, if the better draw should be better.
Trainer always wants a low draw.
Yes. You know, sometimes you got a wide draw, you need to see inside, any horse will go for you. If the horse fast enough, it's okay.
You sent the horse up to Chung Fa for a bit of a break. He had a trial there on the turf. What was the thinking with trialling him on turf with an aim to running back on the all-weather? Was it just a case of keeping him nice and fresh sort of thing?
Yes, but you know, sometimes I want to try on the dirt, but sometimes they haven't got the dirt trial, so I put him in the turf.
His form, as we mentioned, has been good on the all-weather. I mean, I want to ask you about a turf run because he was second to a certain Beauty Eternal a couple of starts ago. So that form, in the context of this race, certainly reads very strongly.
Yes, I think so. I hope he can win again on the dirt.
And Frankie, is he the type of horse that's just taken a little bit of time to come to hand? Because early on, obviously, he was obviously not able to deliver at perhaps, you know, short prices, but since you've switched him to the all-weather, he seems to have improved. Do you think he's a better all-weather horse than a turf horse now?
I think both still okay, but you can see he win on the dirt looks better. But I think turf was okay.
Yeah, he's a deep field. They do go well on the surface. Just away from him, just to ask you about Master 8. He's trialled here this morning. He's in the Sprint Cup coming up on the 9th of April. Where's he at? How happy are you with him at this stage?
Yeah, usually he trial on the dirt, really good. If he can lead by himself, sure better. But sometimes in the race, when he get a wide draw, he not faster enough to lead. So maybe he's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be hoping he can bounce back to some of that early form because it was very good, wasn't it?
Yeah. The early, he's really good. He jumped really fast and then he's very easy to lead in front. But now he's getting older. Maybe he's just a little bit slow than before.
And that was Cordyceps 6 running into second in that trial earlier this morning at Sha Tin. Frankie's runners, Tom, he doesn't have a big team in. There's only a total of 5 of them. You're very keen on one of them, though.
Yeah, I am, and that is Havana Aguila, who looked to finish off the race really strongly from back in the field last time out. Cool Blue coming onto the surface for the first time in the 4th race. He's got everyone's victory for Hugh Bowman, drawn wide, but the downgrade looks to definitely suit him. And then, Paul, you're very keen on Adios in the last.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's going to have a good night. Only the 5 runners, but I think he's got winning chances just about every runner there.
Oh, it sounds good for Frankie Law. What about these horses in this replay, Paul? Man Star 3rd, Lightning Bolt. You mentioned he needs luck in his races.
Yeah, he does. That's the problem with Lightning Bolt. I mean, he got into the clear here, and he sort of stayed into his position, didn't he? I didn't mind Manstar's run as well. So Lightning Bolt and Manstar, the two I'm going to take out of this. Manstar's drawn in barrier number 1. It's not ideal sometimes in the all-weather because you can get that kickback if you get 2 or 3 back.
He's well rated as Manstar. He last one off 70 and 71, and he's marked 70 here, and he wasn't too far behind Adafil and also Adios there. So give him a chance in this race for sure.
These two, Tom. Now, this is Happy Valley form. Gummy Gummy comes to the surface for the first time, but he did trial very well on it prior to this race. And Humble Star, another one onto the surface for the first time in Hong Kong. He's won over the 1200 on the synthetic in Canberra.
Yeah, and he was very wide there on the home turn. He settled a fair way back, but he was making good inroads here. I thought late in the piece, Gummy Gummy just wasn't good enough on the night to get past Brave Star, who found plenty, but there was a lot to like about his run there, Paul, because he certainly showed dramatic improvement from what he had shown.
Yeah, and look, he lived up to that trial, and that trial was on the surface all weather, and he's going to be on the pace. I mean, I think California Veins will cross him, but he'll be right behind the pace.
We've seen plenty of these in an earlier replay, Paul, but Sha Tin is one we haven't. He wasn't in that earlier race. He comes back to the all-weather after finishing 5th on the turf last time. 17 starts on this surface, 1 win, but 8 placings.
Yeah, look, he's a consistent horse on a place line, but he's only a one-time winner from his 34 starts. He's had 13 placings, so look, he's hard to have on a win line, Sha Tin, but look, he has got a good turn of foot, and we have seen that.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with him here because he's drawn nicely. His last one was off 75. He's down on a rating of 69 now. He was closing off well there, but he's got form behind A-Pal, Packing Treadmill, Super Sunny Sing, How Deep Is Your Love, so the form around him's been pretty good.
All right, good push for Sha Tin from Tom. We head back to Sha Tin turf now. This is California Veins down the straight over the 1,000 last time. He has won course and distance, albeit in a lower grade.
Yeah, he has. Karis Teaton rides here. He was up on the pace in this race down the straight the other day at Sha Tin. He won a race earlier on in the season, Paul, and I thought the form was sort of questionable out of that on the all-weather, and he's run some okay races without getting carried away.
Yeah, he's one horse that has won on the all-weather, and he's going to be on the pace. So there's a couple of positives there for him.
One horse that has won multiple times on the all-weather, Paul, is Red Desert, but he hasn't won for a while. He's won up to a rating of 93. He's down to 63 for this. Yeah,
so he's really well rated at the moment. He's drawn 12, though. I just wonder if he's going to be trapped a little bit wide, and he just hasn't been in that same sort of form recently.
Yeah, when he ran 4th at this meeting last year behind Duquois, I think it was a Class 1 race, and we know what Duquois has gone on and done since, but he's the best rated horse clearly on the card. I'm going to give him a shout here for a minor spot. I think he's still going well enough at the moment on the rating that he's at to give this race a shake.
All right, that's a breakdown for race 7. Who wins it, Paul?
I'm going to go with Gummy Gummy. The horse performed on all sorts of tracks in Australia before he got here. He works well on the surface, and he's really acclimatised well. He's on top. Lightning Bolt will need luck. California Veins from the front, and Manstar from that inside draw. 6, 2, 9 and 4.
Going with 5, and that is Sha Tin here for Ricky Yu and Derek Long from Barrier 3. He's well rated coming into this. Just a one-time winner, but he's always pretty honest as Sha Tin, number 5, and that one win was on the surface course and distance. Gummy Gummy goes in. Manstar, another horse that's on about his right mark at the moment for Jimmy Ting and De Souza, drawn Barrier 1, and Red Desert, as we touched on, so well rated. That win was back in April of 2021. 5, 6, 4 and 10.